G'day there everyone, welcome to Movie Studio Zen. My name's Derek and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Vegas Pro 23. Let's get started. I think this is the best version of Vegas Pro to be released in many years. There's a lot of reasons why I think that, but probably the three most important reasons why I think this is a significant upgrade to Vegas Pro is number one, the new video engine. So the video engine is probably one of the most important parts of any video editing program, and it has been completely rewritten. So gone is the old, in with the new, and the throughput of data should be a lot smoother now, which means better performance in the preview window while you're editing, and also faster render performance or exporting your video. And I will show you some simple examples to prove that that is true. The next thing, which is closely related, is there is a new color management system in the pipeline, which means that the colors of any video you put into Vegas Pro will be displayed correctly. Apparently, if you are using lots of like archival video footage, a lot of older stuff from older style cameras, the colors will display more accurately compared to the past. And the third main reason why this is a terrific upgrade is the huge improvements to the color grading panel. So I'll show you where it's been moved into a new position, which I think is much more usable, and the workflow for doing your color correction or color grading is a lot easier, a lot more logical to follow. Okay, so here is Vegas Pro 23. On the surface, doesn't look like much has changed, but let's dig a little deeper. Welcome screen is unchanged. That's a pretty basic function, not going to worry about talking about that. Let's get rid of that. There is some sad news for some people who use Vegas Pro. If you go into Project Video Properties, click on the Advanced tab, you'll see that support for 3D video has been removed from the program. There are apparently two reasons for this. First reason is the amount of people using this function has dropped off a cliff to only a very small number of people. And secondly, the supporting 3D video was apparently adding a tremendous complexity to the video engine. So by removing it out, it's streamlining the whole pipeline of how data travels through the program. Another thing is no more. This was a third-party app that's been with Vegas Pro for a couple of years, and that is OFX Mocha VEGAS, which was a very powerful tracking tool. I can only guess that the licensing agreement has expired and OFX didn't want to extend it. So that's sad, but if you were to buy Mocha Pro from OFX, it will still work perfectly inside of Vegas Pro 23, and also things like DaVinci as well. Not that I should be mentioning about DaVinci Resolve during a Vegas Pro review. Another little thing I mentioned right at the beginning was the new extended color management system. So what I noticed when I was doing my testing, because I knew how to turn it on and off. So yeah, very quickly, I'm not going to show you how to do that, but if you're a power nerd, in the internal preference settings, you can turn this color management system on or off. With it on, which it is by default, it actually makes renderer times slightly faster. So that was a big tick for me, besides displaying the colors accurately. Now, the third thing I mentioned at the beginning was the new color grading panel. So there's two main ways you can use the color grading panel. You'll see a new tab here in the tabbed window area, and that's it there. However, I think the best way to use the new color grading panel is to go into View, Window Layouts, and select Color Correction. Now, in older versions of Vegas Pro, the color grading panel was all down the bottom, and it left only this tiny narrow region for your timeline, which was almost unworkable. I think this setup is just spot on. So we've got the preview window up here in the right hand corner. Importantly, now I just remembered, the default view is actually like that. So you'll see the Vectorscope, which is very important for getting your colors accurate. That's been given an upgrade, so it now looks like it's in the 21st century and not from 1995. All the other scopes are all still there, okay? And everything here is lined up in like a logical order for doing your color correction. You'll see here we've got the LUTs section. So not everyone will understand what a LUT is. So this is a review, so I'm not going deep, but people are recording higher than 8-bit video on expensive professional cameras will apply a LUT to get their color correction correct. So there has been an addition to this area. Can't remember here. I think it's these two here. There are 4 new LUTs have been added to the program for people that have really fancy Apple iPhones or Samsung phones that can record really high quality video. So you can apply a LUT to get all your colors to look correct. Okay, I'm going to return to the normal default layout. So I'm going to go View, Window Layouts, Default. So the next new little addition to the program is more ability to customize the desktop configuration to suit how you like to edit. So there's 3 new areas where we can move the screen. First one is on the extreme right hand edge. Hover in that little black space there, and 2 vertical bars and an intersecting 2-way arrow will appear. Then you can move that across like that. There's also the similar thing on the extreme left hand side. And finally, the third one is at the bottom here. So this will give people that are working on really large 4K monitors or ultra wide monitors, this will give them the ability to really customize their editing desktop. So I'm going to just bring that back down. Now, I'll just show you very quickly. So in this example, I could grab hold of project media. So I just hold down the left mouse button. Oops, screwed that up. Good one, Dexter. Yeah, drag it down. Yeah, you got to go drag it down first. That's the secret. Then when you get into the blank area, press your control key and it'll snap into place. If you screw everything up, just go to View, Window Layouts, Default Layout. The next little thing I'll mention, because this came to my attention on the official Vegas Pro forums, is if we go to Options, Preferences, Display, there was a little setting in here where you could flip the desktop with the timeline at the top of the screen and everything else below. Now, on the Vegas Pro forums, a lot of people were not happy with that. And so some good news. Now, this may have already been fixed by the time this video go live. But I know good news is the developers have said, no, we're going to put that back into the program, but in a slightly different way. Now, I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for this. I've got a slightly advanced build version of the program to test at the moment. And when that gets fixed with the first build update, which will get released very soon, I believe, it'll be a new window layout, okay? So if that's something important for you, don't fret. It's going to be fixed in the first build update. Next is, this is another small little thing, but important for some people. If you'd like to download the free trial for Vegas Pro 23 and tested out for 30 days, there used to be a terrible restriction in how much video you could render. It was basically not much at all. That restriction has been removed. So you can really give the program a good workout in the real world before deciding if you'd like to upgrade. Okay, next thing we're going to have a look at OFX Key-Frame Animation tool. So there's been a major upgrade, but at the moment you can switch it on or off. If we go to View, go all the way down to the bottom, and here is the setting to turn it on or off. So I'm going to turn that on, and I'll show you in the real world what this actually means. Just before I get to there, you'll notice lots of tiny little changes to the program, like just the labels for your meter and the timeline. I think it's got this really nice little display background now. It just looks more professional, I think. And for anyone that's brand new, I will mention this very quickly, even though it's a review. There are a lot more things hidden by default. So for anything that's on the timeline, you can edit the visible button set. Let's say turn everything on, and you'll find a whole heap of extra functions and buttons will appear. Same thing goes for the video and audio control boxes. So for this, I'm going to just turn everything on. I always turn everything on. Okay, we've done that. Now, let's show this how this works. So I'm going to go to Effects, and let's add color balance. Very quick thing to mention. I have heaps of different third-party effects installed on my computer, which do not come with Vegas Pro by default. So I'm going to the Vegas folder. These are the things that do come with Vegas by default. I'm going to add color balance. Okay. Then, because I want to add some keyframes, like change the settings over time. So let's click the animate button next to red, and also the animate button next to blue channel. We'll make this a bit bigger so you can see clearly what I'm doing. Okay, so on the red channel, let's increase the slider at that point. Then we'll go along a few more seconds, and let's desaturate that color, and we'll do one more. Now I'll bring it up to like crazy high. Now I might go back. Let's do in between. Here we go. Now on the blue channel, let's go down like really desaturated, and take it up, and let's go crazy high. Okay, this is just for demonstration purposes. And the other thing I'll do is quickly change the speed of the animation. And I'm mainly doing this just so you can see how the different things translate onto the timeline now. Okay, so we've added our keyframe animations. So as you can see, scrubbing through, that's making all the colors go wacky. Let's click this off. And okay, I've got that turned on. Now, here's a little tip. If you're on a smaller screen, to see these controls, new controls, drag that out until you see the little down arrows. Then click it again, the next little down arrow. And this is the new keyframe animation tool, okay? And so we can see there's that red channel I adjusted and the blue channel represented by the different colored animation lines. But from here, what I can do is change the keyframe points. Just grab hold of them and manipulate them however I want. Okay, I think we'll leave that one there for now. Okay, something I forgot to mention when I was in the color grading panel is you can now export a 65-point LUT. Don't worry too much if you don't know what that means. A LUT is a lookup table. It's basically a little file which tells any video editing program where to put certain settings to produce a certain color look in a video. But yeah, how do you export this new 65-point LUT? I'm going to quickly turn back on. Where are you? Quickly go back to the color correction panel. Click on my video. Let's go to the color wheels and just make a few little quick changes. Okay, that's enough. So we go into the top right-hand corner of the color grading panel, and you'll find Export LUT. And then just give your file a little name, and then you've created a little cube file, which is the extension for creating a LUT. It's as simple as that. Oh, and just if anyone's really clever and is reading what's on my screen here, I happen to be in Sydney during the coronavirus bullshit, and a whole boatload of tourists arrived with coronavirus. I happened to capture that boat arriving on Sydney Harbour, pretty sure. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, next big new feature is video effects package management. What does that mean? So I'm going to read what the official blurb is. In Vegas Pro 23, you can now create complex chains of video effects and save those chains as effects packages, which you can then call up and apply anywhere else without having to rebuild the chain and all of its parameter settings. So what does all that mean? Okay. I'm going to click on my little effects button, but what I will do is add in something. So we've already got one lot of different color settings. I'm going to go press on that, and I'm just going to do something simple just for testing purpose. Add black and white, and where are we here? Yeah, just make, anyway, just add that, right? So now I've got a color balance, video effects custom settings, and black and white custom settings. Now, what if I want to use the exact same thing in a different project or a different video without having to redo everything? First step is click the Save Plugin Chain as Filter Package. Click that little button, and let's give this a test. Let's call this Zen Test, and click OK. And the little pop-up comes up here. The plugin chain contains animation data. Do you also want to save your animations? Wow, I didn't know you could do this. Okay, let's say yes. Okay. So, how do we access this new plugin chain that we've created for extra usage down the track? Let's go to, I think this is what we do. We go to Video Effects tab. And yes, at the top here, there's a new little button, Filter Packages. And looks like I've already done a little test in the past, and here's my new one. So they will appear here. Actually, I'm going to have a little look at what I did. I must have done this a week or so ago. So I'm going to bring on the coronavirus cruise ship onto the timeline. Hopefully I won't get infected. Let's go to Video Effects. And now that special chain I created, I better do the one I just showed you so you know I'm not lying. And then we just drag it down like a normal video effects. And then instantly, everything that I did on this other video here is now applied exactly the same down here. I'm going to do a Control Z or Control Z, go back in time so it's now removed. I'm just interested to see what I did up here. So what did I put on this little test? Here we go. I've done something similar. I did brightness and contrast and some color grading changes. So yeah, so that's a very cool feature. I think a lot of people will be quite happy about that one. Now, while I'm here, I suddenly remembered something that I forgot to show you. I think at the moment they've forgotten to put a label on this button, But if we go to their all, there's this little button here, and when you press that, it just changes the display view of all different, all different video effects. So they're displaying like in a Windows list function, which makes it a little bit easier at a glance to maybe find something. Now that same button is also in transitions now. So that's a similar thing. You can then go and access all your transitions in a much easier way. So that's what that button does up there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to look at, I think, is rather exciting. I'm having a real nerd out today. You would not believe how many times I've tried to record this video, because I haven't mentioned it, but I have been off YouTube for a very long time. And oh man, I didn't realize how much cobwebs were in my brain when it comes to recording a video. I've deleted so much stuff before I got to this point. Anyway, I'm going off on tangents. I'm very sorry. Okay, so here is another big new change in Vegas Pro 23. The Vegas developers have completely rewritten the render window, or better known as the export window. Go to File, Render. If you've got an older version of Vegas Pro or Vegas Movie Studio, it would have been called Render As. Render, same thing. Select that. Now, when you first boot it up, you might be thinking, what the hell? Where's all my templates that I used to know? Okay, don't freak out. If you want to see everything that's available in the chocolate shop, click on the filter button and select Show All Formats. Then everything's there, okay? The rest is pretty much the same. I'm going to go back one step for a second because I want to show you something. Now, just to keep it simple, I'm just going to re-bring in my little Luna Park test clip there. And I'm going to drag out a region. So by putting a region on the timeline, we're going to just get Vegas to render just that video by itself and ignore all my testing nonsense over here. I'm going to go back to File, Render. And by doing this, I'm also showing you another little function that's sort of hidden away, but not really. So because I created a loop region, this new button will display down the bottom and be turned on by default. And because I went out of the window, I've got to redo my folder settings. So I'm going to go quickly, put that back to my downloads folder, and we'll just call it Untitled. And yeah, so importantly, I know this video was recorded at 50 frames per second. So for my little test, I'm going to select an NVENC, so an NVIDIA template. And I better just check it. I'm going to press Customize just to check everything. Yeah, that looks pretty cool to me. And let's press Render and see what happens. So what's that? 6 seconds, 6.16 seconds to render. Now, so this is with the new video management system, new color management system, all that. I should have done this around the other way, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to open up Vegas Pro 22 and render the exact same thing and see what the difference is. Okay, so off camera I loaded up Vegas Pro 22. I've put the exact same clip in, 1080p at 50 frames per second. So go to Render As. Yeah, it was called Render As in the previous version. Now I have to find the same template, which will be Magix ABC. And where are we here? I think that's the same. Let me just check. Yeah, it looks the same to me. So let's call this Vegas Pro 22. Whoops. Now let's click Render. So you can see here straight away with the old system using an NVIDIA graphics card, I'm pretty sure all NVIDIA cards did this. It would do this like stop start thing while it's rendering. So that was 9.67 seconds, yeah, to render. If we go back into Vegas Pro 23, it only took 6 seconds to render. Now, a really important thing to take note, everybody's project's going to be different. So what they've got in the project, everyone's using a different graphics card, a different driver, a different CPU. There's so many different things. So what happens on my computer is going to be different to what happens on your computer. And, you know, Vegas Pro 23 is brand new. The developers and the testers have done a lot of work trying to get all the bugs out before public release. But there's still going to be some bugs in there, okay? And we're working hard to get them fixed quickly. So if you see something different, don't be disappointed. Report it. Let us know so we can get it fixed. I forgot to mention another little important thing with the new render window. I'll go quickly back into there. So I'm back in Vegas Pro 23. And the new function is shut down computer when render completes. So if you've got a really massive render that's going to take hours and hours, you can turn that on, go to sleep, Vegas will do the render and then shut down your computer. Okay, so that's another little new feature, pretty cool. Changing gears into another part of the program, there is a new audio effect that's been added to Vegas Pro 23. So let's find out what that is. So to do that, I'm going to add some effects to this random video here. So this opens up the plugin chain chooser for audio. Select all. And the new thing is, what's it called again? Modern Equalizer. Equalizer here for getting your audio to sound really cool. I don't know what's more to be said. So remember, this is a review. I'm not teaching you all the different functions, but it's got lots of little, different things down here you can do that change your curves to get your audio to sound perfectly beautiful. I'm just remembering a few things as I'm going along. There is another thing which is very small, but it can have a big impact on some people. It's the default behavior of the spacebar. So this is what happens. I'm going to mute the audio so you don't get blasted. But when we're playing, if we press the spacebar, let's say press space, it's playing. And then if I press it again, it now just pauses. So play, pause, play, pause. Okay. If we go back to Vegas Pro 22, pressing spacebar, yeah, it's playing. But when you press it again, it goes all the way back to the beginning of wherever you were on the timeline. So it's more like a play stop. Okay. So that function has changed. If that's freaking you out and you can't handle that, what you can do, a little bug in the room, you can go to Preferences, and it's hiding here in the General tab, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here we go. Make spacebar and F12 play stop instead of play pause. So remember, if you want to reverse that back, you can do that. Okay, we're getting close to the end now. I'm sorry this dragged out for so long. I'll just mention this briefly because this is a change. There's different versions of Vegas Pro you can buy, but each version has the identical core version of the program. It's just all the bells and whistles that are different depending on what package you get. And one of those important differences is with Vegas Hub. So if you're not aware, Vegas Hub gives you access to an entire online library of video and audio stock media. I'm not going to show you how all this works now, but you can sort of see here we've got different categories, but you can search for anything you want and add in stock media into your Vegas productions. And Same thing with audio. There's like different audio effects or different like songs and stuff, all stock media that you can add to your project. The differences is with different versions, which I'll talk about right now, you have different allowances that are included with your purchase. Now, and then if you exceed them, you can buy like little upgrade packages, which allow you to download another 100 videos, whatever. I don't know exactly how it works, but it is there. So let's do that now and discuss the differences, like which version is right for you, because this is an important thing for a review, I think. So what I did, what you're viewing on the screen now is my online written review, and I created a little table here to hopefully make it easier to explain the differences. So there are 4 main versions of Vegas Pro: Vegas Pro 23, Vegas Pro 365, which is the subscription version. Now let me go back one step. So with Vegas Pro 23, which you can buy outright new as a new person, or you can also get upgrade at a discounted price. That's a keep for life version of Vegas Pro. With Vegas Pro 365, that's the subscription model where you can pay a monthly fee or pay 1 year in advance. But then when the year ends, well, you don't have access to the program unless you extend out your subscription. Then the next 2 versions is Vegas Pro Suite 23, and its main difference is it also comes with the audio editing program SoundForge Pro 18 and Acid Pro 11, which is a music creation tool. You also get Vintage Effects Suite and Studio Box Mark II Complete Collection. Then the final version is Vegas Pro Suite 365. So it's the exact same thing, but in the subscription model where you can pay monthly or pay a year in advance. Now, besides those obvious changes, if you just go back a few minutes when I was talking about Vegas Hub, which is the stock footage library of video and audio effects, there are different allowances depending on which version. So if you're a content creator that likes to put in heaps of different B-roll into your videos, then I would suggest that the Vegas Pro 365 Suite would be a better option. So let's have a quick look here. So in the basic version of Vegas Pro, there's this special function I didn't talk about, text to speech, and there's also speech to text, where it's an AI-driven thing, where you can put a video onto the timeline and get AI to analyze it and convert text to speech or speech to text. Okay, so you can see on the screen here, so we've got like the basic one, 20,000 character limit. Now once that limit gets hit, you can then buy extra packs of allowance. But if you're subscribing to Vegas Pro Suite 365, for example, your default allowance before having to buy more is 1,800,000 characters. So you can see a big difference. Now, there's also the other one that you can see that there is the stock footage download allowance. So in the basic Vegas Pro, you're allowed to download 60 HD images. If you get the 365 subscription model, that's multiplied by 10, so you get 600 HD images. And then if we go all the way to Suite 365, you can get unlimited 4K images. So that's that. Another quick thing to mention, if you're a Vegas Movie Studio user, and I know there's still plenty of you out there because you message me every day, Vegas Movie Studio got retired back in 2021. And if you don't want to relearn something completely new, then consider upgrading to Vegas Pro. Might be a little bit scary to start with, but I'm about to start producing heaps of beginners tutorials to make it easy for you. But the best thing about a movie studio user going up to Vegas Pro is the core part of the program is the same. So you at least won't feel completely lost with how basic functions work. And with all these huge changes hitting Vegas Pro 23 all at once, now is the perfect time to do an upgrade if you haven't upgraded for quite some time. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sure there's things I missed out, but I will go through the nitty-gritty over the next couple of weeks. But instead of doing big mammoth productions like today, I'll just be producing tiny little videos, just focusing on one little thing at a time. Because I know everybody's time is precious today. There is so much content spewing out, and it's like, what do I watch? So I hope that was helpful. There is affiliate links down below if you're watching on YouTube. So press them. That helps out my channel a little bit. It doesn't cost you any extra. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. See you later. Bye.